Are we live? People, deluded, I'm back again. Arsenal 3, West Bromwich Albion 1. West Brom have officially been relegated. Yeah, people. And what was a dead rubber game? A game where, you know, nobody's fate could be decided. I know mathematically these last 4 games, 3 now, Arsenal could, depending on what happens, still get Europe. West Brom are down in it. They're down. Realistically, we know we're not getting into Europe unless it's a Conference League or something where I'm sure a lot of you hope we wouldn't be. But again, it's a game where we're expected to win, a game where there's not really high stakes, and as usual, Arsenal delivered the goods. To some degree, did we make it harder than it needed to be? Yes, because I think a clean sheet was here for the taking. It wasn't token. Token's not a word. It was there for the taking. It wasn't taken from us. Again, my English was moving mad there. But who cares, people? Please make sure you're hitting the like buttons early doors, people, because we finally won a game. And I actually think I saw ESPN come out with the statistics when Smith Rowe scored the first goal, people. That's the first time in 3 months we've taken the lead in the game of football, which kind of tells you we're on the floor. But as I said, with obviously discounting the opposition collectively, we'll get into the nuts and bolts of things, people, but we played kind of well. You know, WILLIAN got his first goal for the football club. Great style, you know, lovely free kick. Unfortunately, it took him forever and it's taken him in May. But yeah, man, it is what it is. I'm not going to go as far as to say it's a reaction, it's a bounce back, it's revenge, because we know what happened on Thursday. And even if we do win against Chelsea on Wednesday, where the stakes are there's only pride there, only the fact that we don't travel to Sheffield United. Well, it was quite poor, really and truly, man. You know, it's nice to not lose at home. It's nice to see the Haylen players play and things like that. It's nice to obviously win. It is what it is, people. It's obviously nice to beat Sam Allardyce, but beyond that, beyond just winning the game, it doesn't change us, because a lot of you are saying probably, where was this on Thursday? We can't go back in time, but it's a legit question, and that's for Arteta and the boys to come out and say. And the truth is, it weren't here. It was nowhere. There was no pressure, so we looked good. Please make sure you're hitting the like buttons. I'm going to take in what you guys are saying, but I might as well offer my extended thoughts on the game. I need my good old Google Doc sheet to do that with you guys, people. So not ending thoughts. We're not going to go backwards. And obviously, that's the timestamp. Let me remove that for you. Now, I felt, people, within the opening stages of this game, I'm actually trying to zoom in. I don't know what's going on there. Thank you very much. First half, I feel first 10, 15, you know, I think West Brom started a bit stronger. Those of you that watched my previews, those of you who were in my live watch along, you heard me say, if I'm West Brom, just on the basis of what happened to Arsenal on Thursday, the way Arsenal have played at home, and the fact that they're playing for pride, have a go at us. You've seen on the best of days we struggled to defend, so have a go at us, and you saw it with the goal. I think West Brom were very confident going forward. You know, Pereira early doors was trying, he was always going to score a spectacular goal. He was setting it. They were putting balls into the box. I think we were slowing the initial moments of the game. I did think you know, that's meant to say 4. As you can see, I'm typing it fast. Apologies. I did think they started off. Oh, I'm having a mare here, but I'm moving like Arsenal. Yeah, I think like I said here, I think it was a fast start for the away side. I think they troubled us to a degree. I think they had us penned in our own half for a couple of periods in the game, and it was expected. Sam Allardyce doesn't like to lose to Arsenal. Crucially, we was losing the first and second balls, where again, you're playing a team that's got promoted from the Championship. You're playing someone that's been around the block several times in Sam Allardyce. Set pieces, defensive situations, winning the ball from first and second balls, long balls. These are things you've got to be careful of. And we was being a bit naive in that. You know, it looked like throughout the whole game, Saka just making that run from left back, and Pepe to a degree looked like they were going to be the ones to make the difference. I think Chambers and Pepe were working really good. I think Chambers and Pepe, had our best chance early on in the game. At that period, they were dominating us, because if you remember, it's a good bit of play, you know. Chambers again. I like Chambers. He put in a good performance, but someone needs to tell him he's not Macon. Stop hitting the ball first time. He struck first time. Pepe's done the same. As I said, not only were we second best to the balls, I think we were quite sloppy on the ball. It looked like early on there was a bit of nerves. There was a lot of wounds that were still being licked in relation to going out of Thursday's competition in the Europa League. There was an element of feeling sorry for ourselves, feeling overall. I actually felt still in Villarreal mode, where really and truly you lot have lost that game. You're playing a relegated side. As I'm saying here, I think we offered very little in attack. I think the movement needed to be better. I think even when we won, I think we're still too slow on the counter, especially when we scored those 2 goals. there was an element of nervousness, as I said. We were disjointed. You know, there was an effort where Callum Robertson was offside, people. We would have, in the build-up, it would have been marked for offside. It started on the left and the ball came through the middle, and I thought that would have been the wake-up call. Pereira had two, I don't want to say half chances because they were good efforts, but again, apart from Pepe's thing, what was we doing really and truly? We wasn't really doing much, and we needed, you know, if we start strong, we end kind of poorly. If we start slow, we end strong, and that was firmly what I saw. It took us about 20 minutes to settle, you know. I was starting to feel eventually one of those half chances for West Brom will pay off. You know, I did feel early on they looked like the home team. Saka, apologies, making couple passes and runs in behind from Saka. You know, they look decent. He looks like he's up for something. I don't know, as I said, I think we're being passengers for the opening stage, but better yet, this is say for me it should really say 25 to 35. I think this is where Arsenal's best period was, people, as an Arsenal fan. I think 25 to 35 minutes, you know, and it's reflected in the two quick fire goals, courtesy of individual brilliance. We started to settle, started to move the ball around a bit. Players started to wake up, think, people. And, you know, the first goal, it should say 1-0. You know, I have to give credit to Ceballos. Obviously, Willian plays the ball in behind for Saka. And there actually was a couple of occasions Saka's putting decent balls in and no one's gambling. You know, I know there was one effort, Martinelli and Smith Rowe, they threw themselves at it and they couldn't get to it. But there's not enough of that. Too many balls into the box. People are just watching like spectators. People got to gamble. You can get, you know, if you're a midfielder, you can get a couple goals to your CV. If you're a striker, you can get a couple of goals to your CV just by getting there. You know, it was always going to be a big test for Martinelli. This is why I wanted to see Martinelli or Balogun start, because you're playing against championship centre halves, you know, physically bigger than you, quicker in the brain than you, and let's be real, Martinelli did struggle with that, but that's going to help him. If he's going to be a striker, he needs to know how to play that and how to counteract that. One thing about Martinelli, while he was quiet, and before I forget, I will give him, I think we could have, I thought he would have got subbed, as I said on my watch along, but I thought we could have kept him on, because there was little incidences just from a throw-in. He's making a run off the ball. Just making that run eventually led to a mistake where, again, Pepe had a good chance and should have done better just before he scored. And there was an effort, well, not an effort, but Pepe's pressing, Martinelli's pressing led Sam Johnson to hurry, to play one hurried goal kick, and then we tried to have a chance. I think Pepe again, and it didn't get anywhere. You know, Saka's putting in a lot of balls and we're not doing much with it. Chambers is working well, I feel. Well, we're not doing bad, but yeah, man, Ceballos and Willian did very well in the build-up to Smith Rowe scoring. As I said, Saka was delivering the package, and Smith Rowe signs for it. It's a lovely run off the ball. It's a lovely move, and it's a lovely finish with his left peg to match. And, you know, adds a couple more zeros to whatever he wants on this prospective new contract. Obviously, 34/35 minutes, you know, a couple of minutes after the first, we scored again. You know, Chambers gets the assist. I did, you know, in the watch along, I was like, Pepe needs to wake up a bit more. I need to see him dancing. And he, you know, just from Chambers making that run, he puts aside a shadow of doubt in the West Bromwich Albion man. You obviously saw he unleashed a mad shot, and two individual moments of brilliance. We looked better in this stage. We've got the 2-0. As we know, the next goal is crucial. And I felt we're kind of too slow on the counter attack. You know, it felt like, not that we was happy with 2-0, but it's ruthless. We need that ruthlessness. I think this game showed the lack of ruthlessness. Obviously, for the goal we conceded, it showed the naivety and whatnot, but we'll get on to that. 34 minutes in, based on how we started the first 20 minutes, this is our best passage, and we're starting to do all right. El Nene's actually doing okay as well. We're doing all right as a team. So taking us into halftime, my thoughts at the time were, there was great passage of play / moments, what I've called here for the goals, people. You know, Smith Rowe scored, Saka and all them other guys look good. Pepe, lovely moment for him. But I need to see more of what led to those goals on a more consistent basis. I needed to see more prolonged period of that. A more prolonged, sustained period of that. More sustainment, better yet, people. And like I said here, we need to create them counter attacks fast, you know, because, you know, like I said, they're a championship side. They will get back in numbers. Martinelli needs some shots. He's having a lack of service. He's quite anonymous, but at the same time, you know, it's a good lesson for him, as I've said. But regardless of that, you've got to make something happen. It's a bit like when we say people double up on Pepe or there's no space. You've got to make things happen. As I said, there's no service. We always knew with those 6 changes and with that midfield, it wasn't going to be the most expansive of football. That being said, El Nene and Ceballos, actually Willian as well. I think man to a man, everybody's doing okay. Nobody look off the pace. Saka's having joy. Pepe's showing he can, here and there he can cause problems. There was a spell where we should have scored more beyond that period. Like I said here, I want to break faster and score more goals. I like the right-hand side because just by Chambers making simple runs, Pepe has more options rather than continuously relying on getting it on the halfway line and whatnot. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, folks. It's all appreciated. Moving away from that, like I said, people, we started slow, but we've ended it strongly. We needed to wake up. Those first and second balls were quite threatening, and we were struggling, and we did struggle to a degree or element of that in the second half. As I said, the best spell was in this 10-minute, 25 to 35 odd minute. But if I'm West Bromwich Albion, I'm still believing I can get back in this game. As I said, it's 2-0. The next goal is crucial, people. 2-1 is shaky. Arsenal need to either go out there and confirm it's 3-0 or we need to do something. And let's be real, they have had chances. They have created chances, people. They've shown they can create and they started strong. On top of just being fearless for obvious reasons, you're fearful of that potential fight back from them. Like I said, people, Martinelli's movement, he's creating chances and he's pressing his lead into stuff. But beyond that, he's not offering too much. He's not offering too much, in my opinion, and it takes us into the second half. Obviously, we started off, it was more of the same. The goal we conceded was poor. If you watch the goal again, Chambers has done poor, and that's where, as a team, we need to stop them goals. That's where it's naivety. It's a fantastic goal from Pereira. You have to clap for him. He was deserved that, and he's doing all he can to show, West Brom are going down. I need to be getting the move somewhere, wherever it is. Arsenal, hopefully, Edu is doing the right thing and chatting to him. But for us, it's a poor thing, and this is where Arteta has to coach this school of thought, but this is where footballers are not street smart. We're hit on the counter-attack. Big up Townsend, because I think him versus Pepe was a good battle today. Townsend, based on that game, I'll take a look at you as a backup for Arsenal still. But Townsend has won the ball. And they've just broken. Pereira's running. Ceballos can't catch him. Ceballos can't catch a cold. Actually, if you look at the build-up, Chambers is losing. Chambers has done quite poor. Robson Kanu's movement isn't helping us. Maybe Leno could have done better. I'm not blaming Leno because that should have been stopped way before. A player needs to bring him down. It sounds cynical, but that's what Chelsea do. That's what City do. That sort of game management, take the yellow card. I know it makes it nervous, but that's where we've got to be street smart. Maybe Leno could have done better, but it shouldn't get to that moment, if it makes sense. So we need to do a lot better in that regards. We need to offer a bit more, and it shows the problems. And as much as I get on Arteta because a team has to be a reflection of the manager, these footballers need to take heed. And them sort of goals on the counter-attack is what has led to our demise generally this season. Like I said, against the run of play, it's a terrible goal for us to concede, but it's fantastic from Pereira, and it shows why he should be playing Premier League football. We're inviting him to shoot, and I don't get it because you're showing him on his left foot. It's like you need to read this. He's a dangerous player. I need to bring him down. We're out of position. We're disjointed, and I don't think you can coach that street smartness. I just think you can provoke that school of thinking, and not with these sort of players. Not street smart there. We're not street smart. Bring the man down, pull him down, concede the free kick. Fernandinho, Rodri, anyone at Chelsea, teams below us, really. I know that's hard to say. They do them thing there. So 2-1, it makes it nervous. It makes you feel, it could go another way. You're starting to feel those half chances we didn't take. We could have done something with them, but we didn't, people. It's as simple as that. Obviously, Willian sure knows when to pick his moment. Willian is brought down against the run of play. He stepped up. Credit where due. It's a fantastic free kick from Willian. Justifies his start. I actually feel he's playing all right. He was involved in the goal. He's doing all right. He deserved that. It's a fantastic set piece from the individual. He puts it the harder side, really. Credit where due. It was a very good finish from Willian. Take credit where due. It's only taken him 25 odd appearances in the Premier League, 36 in general, and now his return, for someone we was told is going to hit the ground running, Premier League proven, knows the league, knows the way around it. 36 appearances in all comps, 7 assists, 1 goal. 1 goal in May. 2-3 assists against Fulham, still relying off an assist against Wolves. No disrespect to Willian, but somebody's got to answer for them transfers there. And the manager spoke about being ruthless with people. Sometimes it's a one and done, but Willian gives us a bit of a comfortable cushion. Ultimately, it ends 3-1. You know, it'll be nice to have a clean sheet, but as you saw with the goal, this is not a team that's going to be able to keep too many clean sheets, and there's many problems within our football team. Them sort of things there is the root. I think this game showed us a lot, you know. We won today, so it's not said, but starting slowly, like you saw, conceding cheap goals, not killing off teams, you know, needing a bit, you know, couple of players have woke up, couple other players aren't, you know. Smith Rowe was amazing. I haven't said his name too tough. Smith Rowe, up for it. Saka, up for it, you know, really, really impressive. And I did think, ending thoughts, people, I think we lost a lot with Smith Rowe coming off at the hour mark. I think we need to get on the end of crosses. More players need to gamble. You know, as a striker, you must grab an extra 5 goals just by being there, and things like that. You know, we lost a lot when Smith Rowe came off. I think we was very scrappy at times, and again, a poor goal to concede. Ultimately, we got over the line. You know, Pepe and Chambers worked well. El Nene had a good game. Willian had a good game. He grabbed his first goal. The Halem boys doing what they did. Martinelli might not have stood out, but in the grand scheme of things, that hour, he got people. It's a good learning experience in relation to being a striker long term. You know, would have nice to have been able to see Balogun and things like that. The beautiful thing on this is that we've now got 3 games left. Nobody got injured as well, but we've got 3 games left of this disastrous season. We go to Stamford Bridge, and hopefully we can do something there just for the fans, if anything. And then, yeah, man, Palace and Brighton wrap up this season, and then we can go back to being optimistic and then having positivity shot down. So, yeah, that's my thoughts in relation to West Brom, man. You know, we're the kings of playing well when there is no pressure, just like against Sheffield United, West Bromwich Albion the first time. Remember when we beat West Bromwich Albion at the Hawthorns, people thought there was a late push for the Champions League and things like that. Like I said, since December tables is crazy, but what can I say, man? A win's a win. It doesn't mean much, but a win's a win. That's all it is, people. A win's a win. I don't like to call games nothing games and all of these things. There's always something to play for, but it is what it is. In an ideal world, wouldn't have liked Saka to play any minutes here, because you know, this was Saka's best game in a minute. He's kind of been struggling of late, and we've not been able to take him out the team, and I feel it's not healthy for him mentally, because we're all forgetting, as great as he is, Saka's rise to the first team has been like that in 2 secs. He's now not only risen to the first team, but man are relying on him. You know, he's the guy even early on. Like I said, whether he plays left back or not, you're going to see it, people. Obviously, Tierney came on and looked very good as well, in my opinion. You know, we've had to bring on Partey and whatnot. We'll probably see a rotated side on Wednesday. Again, I hope the game is on Wednesday, but what can I say, people? It is what it is in that regards. Can't imagine Arteta could say too much for the fans, but it is what it is. We move, innit, people? We move. So yeah, that's my thoughts in relation to this game. There's not much to read into it, as I said. What are you guys saying, people? Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Please make sure you're checking out the pinned message so you can be updated on when next content comes out. I'm actually going to get the link for you guys in a second. 1 sec, people. Oh, what's this? Bro, YouTube is telling me to fix one of my titles on a vid. Sorry, people. You know me. YouTube say jump. I have to say how. Right? I don't like no messing about. Sorry, people. I'm going to be with you in a sec. Technical difficulties on another video. Nothing to do with you guys. Make sure you're hitting the like button, and I appreciate you lot for tuning in. It's been a great week in terms of engagement levels and the rest of that sort of stuff, people. And don't let it go over your heads. I'm always appreciative of that. I'm always appreciative of the man hours that you lot recognize I put in, but you lot also hear some of you lot's names. I see you here all the effing time, and I wonder, when are you sleeping? But nonetheless, big up yourselves, people. I really appreciate you lot each and every time. Maybe we'll win the UEFA Conference League. Hopefully, my bro. Hopefully, you know, I don't want to be in it, you know. I'm keen to see what excuses this club will wiggle out if we're only playing once a week and we're still struggling. On that note, though, people, quick message from the sponsors. I'll be back in a second, people. All information is in the description. Come on, people. Like I said, check out the message I've just dropped in the live chat or the description for more. Who knows when Arsenal are next going to win a trophy? So you might as well grab yours. More importantly than that, please make sure you've hit the like button. We're at 108 likes, people. Can we at least grab 200? When YouTube say jump, I say how high. DG in his bag. Big up, you know what's important. I appreciate that. Where's our trusted Google Docs? Bro, I think you just missed that. I was there with that, my guy, man. You know, I was there. Willian having an impact when it doesn't mathematically matter. You know, Arteta's probably over the moon with that, man. You know, probably over the moon. Would be great if we finish above the spots. Only 4 points in it, bro. I think this team will let us down. Hope to be wrong, but you know what? Chelsea at the bridge goes either way. We ain't traveled there too well, Nobby. I'm sure not too many Arsenal fans like playing Brighton or like the thought of Brighton. For me, Crystal Palace away, it's always a dodgy game. You know, Juventus are getting humbled. PSG are struggling against Rennes. Lens might win the title. Poch might have the shortest term, people. It is well, it is, people. I think you played well, mate. James, appreciated. Within our context, we played all right, but I don't feel it was enough, man. You know, really and truly. You know, at times we're getting outshot by them. You know, really what was annoying me was the lack of shots. Like West Bromwich Albion made a real confident start, I felt, man. They had a lot of shots without really hitting the target. In fact, the Pereira goal, I swear, was their first shot on target. I don't know. Within the context, it was a great result, people, man. People have been doubting Willian. He just needed time. What? Willian just needed time when we're in May, out of every competition, season done. Great, Willian. Instant impact. Madman. Sometimes I think Williams played well generally throughout the season, but you know, Williams sums up the season really. You know, sums it all up, man. How Sam trying to make man feel bad after all that smack he spoke about us. The good in me still feels bad for Donny. F him though. What's he said, Telwood? What's he said? You know, Big Sam never gonna say nothing nice about us, and that's why, regardless of the context, I love smacking him up, man. Trust me, 1 goal, 5 assists, 200 bags a week. I don't like to talk about a next man's money and things like that, but boy, it's not matching up for me. You can get paid whatever you want. I don't care about next man's money as long as you earn it. Like certain man are stealing livings, really. You know how much I would love for someone who's good at maths to cost up how much he's cost per game and then grab that goal. You know. I feel Arteta's asking too much from the CF. Play to the strengths more. It has shagged Oba this season and probably nearly 2 days dropped so deep. I think yes and no. I think the manager's allowed to demand what he wants, but I do agree with inventing the will. I also agree with he doesn't adapt to his strikers. Like the way you should be playing with Aubameyang should be completely different with Lacazette. And I know I don't need to expand on that because you lot are smart enough to know. I do feel sorry for West Brom, but it happens. Nah, dead man. Big up Gooner, apologies. Continue doing your thing, bro. One love, DG. Big up everyone, man, because just before I went on live today, people, I went to the shop and a calm brother that lives near, man, saluting man's thing and shouting out my thing, and we start speaking about Arsenal for a hot sec. So, yeah, man, I appreciate all the love I get from you guys, man. I really do, man. And is it potentially another game that papers over the crack? I don't know, man. It's very obvious that Arsenal needed a complete shape-up from top to bottom. The first team haven't been good enough, and the under-23s just survived relegation with a draw against West Ham's 23. You deserve the love, DG. Shout out to the Twitch gang. You know, never think you're forgotten. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the love, man. If I'm real with you, Joe can be a squad player. If he earns it, he earns it. But again, I don't know. I don't like betting on people. I don't know what I'm getting for 38 games. I don't mind him being part of the squad, but I need a midfielder. I can't lie, man. 120 bags per game on average, probably my guy, bros. See what I'm saying? I always tell you, lot, it's not just the big money, 72 million pound men that might be a waste of money, or the 50 million pound men. It's the free transfers and it's the loans. Again, not to throw Odegaard into it, but have we got too much of a return on Odegaard, on Ceballos ×2, on throwing Denis Suarez into that? You know, seems like Arsenal's free transfers start becoming expensive, man. You know, it's a mad one. Big up Sandro. Win's a win for me, but for me, it's telling that we didn't turn up when it didn't matter. Facts. So much work to do for next season, bro. The wickedest thing is we've been saying that since August, so I hope they are doing. I hope they are taking heed of that. I hope they are taking heed of that. Whether they actually are is another thing, as you know, people. We're at 121 likes. Let's keep running that one there up, people. Let's at least come off this with 200. Willian scoring. Wow, trust me. What a super chat. Had to unsubscribe after the shenanigans during the week. Thank you for all your content. Hopefully, I can come back to this top Arsenal channel in better days, DG. Love for your tenor, my guy. Farewell. Peace out. Anyways, do you think, big up the members, Dim, do you think Arteta deserves a chance with a better quality squad entering next season? I'll make that a timestamp, man, because a lot of people ask that, and I think it's a really, really complicated. It's an easy one as hell, easy as hell, my guy. But I just think it would, yeah, man. It does Arteta deserve better players. For me personally, it's a techie one. It's a techie one because, you know, on one hand, I'm saying yes, my dude. I'm saying 100% yes, because you can see these players are not levels. Evidently, you know, we know these certain men have been here with Wenger, Arteta, Emirates, technically Lombard, and Lombard kind of freed up the realness in that regard. So I would say yes. I would say 100%, people, because it is, isn't it? A blind man would struggle with these players. They're so poorly coached, bad habits. Personally, I think, you know, they hide behind their managers a lot. The mentality is not right. They're just so, you know, they're poor tactically. There's just so many things. I think yes, you know, but on the other hand, I think no, because what I've seen you do, on one hand, I believe better players, better results for you. But what I've seen from him this year, I can't convincingly say you get better players. You know, you get, let's just say Cancelo came, he wouldn't, instead of what he's been doing with shoehorning some other man in roles. If he was to get them Cancelos and better players, we'd see something. Sometimes, even when he's done things I don't agree with, I've looked at it and I'm like, I've seen why you've tried to do that, but I don't know, because again, a good tradesman can only, you know, do as good a job as he's got the tools for. But at the same time, you have to get the best out of the tools you got available. I haven't seen a DNA assistant to say that, you know. I haven't, because again, we're in May now. You're still talking about learning his squad, this, that, and the other. He needs to settle down on that. And really, based on the way he's been performing this year, he shouldn't get that, really and truly. So he's going to be kept in it, and we're going to focus on this more on the live stream tomorrow. But he's been allegedly, they're retaining faith, they're keeping him. So it's either you sack, man, or you double down on him. It doesn't make sense. Like, you either back him, and when I mean back him, I mean put the people in here that can sign the levels players, because it's not as much as I want Kroenke to leave. And I just think people need to comprehend there can be multiple problems. Some, no disrespect to Pepe, but 72 million. You know, Xhaka 30, 40, Lacazette 50, you know, Willian expensive free transfer, Odegaard, Ceballos times 2, you know, Denis Suarez. These are, you know, loans, free transfers, big money signings. It's mismanagement. So again, and if you need to back a man properly, in fact, not even back him, back yourselves properly and rewrite these wrongs, or just forget it, innit? This half thing isn't banging. And what I believe is a relationship of convenience. Arteta is, whether I think Arteta is going to be a good manager, whether it's here or not, it's another question. But he's got a platform where there's no real scrutiny on him beyond the pressures that come naturally with being an Arsenal manager. Internally, is there pressures this season? I think not. And he realizes that. Likewise, a manager that's been around the game more, a manager that's more sort of with it, he'll probably demand more. So again, he's probably less of a headache. So it's a relationship of both of mutual interest. So on one hand, yes. On the other hand, no. He, you know, again, we hear war chest, they're backing him, Kroenke this. You're here because we're so onto the club now and Kroenke out and stuff. You're seeing all this media language and about, you know, funds available, backing, doing this, doing that. But Suma's willing to pick us over Liverpool and City, all of these things, but they twanged us. Remember when they were getting Mbappe, and man still trust the club? It's mad. So I'd say Arsenal deserve a better squad. You get a better squad, you finish higher, you get more prize money from the Premier League, you potentially fill a place in Europe. Whether the Kroenke cares about the club or not, I'm sure you care about your pockets, and your pockets are going to get hit now, because on the best of days, we've got a Champions League wage bill with League One players, and now you're not in Europe. You know, I'm no math man, I don't know the finances, but I know on the best of days Arsenal are losing money, and it's going to get worse unless physical injection. This is why we need to keep the pressure on the Kroenkes, you know, put up or shut up. You know, bring in certain players. It's as simple as that, you know. But that's what I feel. That's what I feel, bro. Hopefully, I've answered your question to the best of my abilities. If not, I apologize. Shout out to the members. Shout out to everybody in here. Please make sure you're hitting the like button and checking out the pin message. Jason is saying, preach DG. Pick up DG as well from DD. I appreciate that. Hit the like button, man. Ask Arteta on if he regrets not starting Saka at left back against Villarreal. No, I regret that Xhaka could not start. That is my biggest regret. Not even going to get into it, man. Not even going to get into it. Palmer said, where was this performance on Thursday? Arsenal makes me cry. Bro, wipe your tears. It's not worth crying anymore, man. You know, it's not worth crying anymore, bro. And it's the age-old question. When you find out the answer, let me know. And again, you know, this is why I don't believe in Donnies. That's why, to answer Kay's question earlier, I was saying, yeah, because, you know, you look at the goal even the goal we conceded, Kay. It's like, I think about it, it's like, you see how open we were. Like I was saying earlier, either Ceballos bring him down, Chambers needs to read it, or we're just cut open in it. We're invited. As much as I feel Arteta needs to coach, man, so when you're in them situations to use your brain, I don't think he should tell you why you should bring a man down, why you should not allow him to make that run from his own half, why you shouldn't allow him on your left foot. So it's like these players are either, but they're just a bad cocktail of naive, not street smart, inability to cope with pressure. You know, some of them have technical ability, but not the rest to match. You know, it's just so bad. I can't really give you an answer, man. But I would say because there's no pressure. When the pressure counts, it's not about attacking players and things, because the same things happen that have been happening when we've lost. The same thing happened today. Really, we won 3-1. It's cool. We're not going to talk about it. But for the first 20 minutes, apart from that 10-minute stage, from minute 25 to minute 35, for me anyways, yeah, who looked like the home team? West Brom. So we started off slow. We conceded the goal we didn't need to concede. There was chances we didn't take. Again, football is made of fine margins, and we got away with it. Now, if this happens in a shaky way, Arteta is going to come out and whatnot, you know. As well, another problem on Arsenal, we rely, why I think we need better players, we rely on players that are not good enough to take us where we need. Could you have David Luiz and Xhaka in marginalised squads being part of a squad? Yes, but I think that team, the best Arsenal team you can put together right now, until next players are brought in, it has to have Xhaka in it, in midfield. You know, it has to have David Luiz. If everyone's fit, David Luiz, because of who they are. And you're always going to be in problems when you have players like that, where they have more con to their games than pros. Once again, we're not going to get out of this overnight, because this squad didn't assemble itself overnight. This is the repeated acts of poor decisions, whether you're people from old and new. I have to blame the man behind me on Arteta. You know, Edu backs him up and says all that stuff about hitting the ground running and things like that. But Arteta, that was allegedly your player. Now, are we really here? Is he gonna sit here and say and do up? I told you so in May with everything gone. Now, I'm not blaming Willian for everything, but it sums up the club. It sums up poor recruitment, because again, the way Willian's been given a free right, you had to play him. He has to play him 30 odd times because we've given him the bag, but we haven't got a return. It's been a free but an expensive signing. Again, other young players could have got opportunities, and even the man he's there with, Pepe, was cost opportunities, you know. Pepe, Arteta really didn't want to give Donny chances. So on one hand, I think he needs better players. A blind man could see he needs better players, but because I believe he needs better players, and you need better practices at this football club. How are we spending money? The sort of profile. Every player we get, how do they solve a bit of a problem or the equation? Do you get it? So until there's better people in place that can put better practices, you know, we're not going to change. There's going to be a new manager. Even Emre, I don't think Emre was the man, but there was a lot of things I think he did right. And like Arteta, and like any next manager that comes in, I think they're going to be crippled because they're fighting against the grain in this culture. One man can't change it. The only one man that can is who owns this club. And we hear a lot of chatting, not to compare him to Roman. In fact, to compare him to Roman, you never really hear Roman Abramovich doing chattings. It's just done. Things are just done. There's too much lip service. So I'm not trying to be negative and things, but we're not going to get there overnight. As I keep giving the example, Rome weren't built in a day, as we all know, but we need to go past and see bricks are being let, you know, wood is being delivered, plumbers are coming on site, there's a site manager, little things so we can say we're building something. I can't sit here and say we're building something at Arsenal. Sometimes I see what Arteta is trying, even when he does the madness like the false nine. Part of me likes it, not your context, not how it went, but I like the mentality. I like trying them things. Part of me feels there's something there, but on the other hand, I can't tell you what Arsenal's about. It doesn't matter what amount of money that's been spent. how long the managers had this and that, COVID, this and that, and all them other excuses Arteta says where everyone had, I should be able to see something. Broski, big up P. I don't mind Gasperini just for the football, broski. Just for the football, fam. I don't mind that, but that's what I feel, man. Okay, I've kind of circled back several times over your question. That question there got the passion rolling, man. It's crazy, man. Like this, like the vid, like my guy said, man. Appreciate that, man. We are relying on Xhaka, man. It is. The goal, big up the opinionated Gooner. You said the goal we conceded was a shambles. Pereira was actually circled and still no one closed him, bro. Robson Carnu's run. Pereira, Ceballos can't catch a cold. Again, I think Chambers has done really bad. Holding and everyone else next to him, 6s and 7s. I won't blame Leno because I think, pardon me, it shouldn't have got to that moment. But even watching the goal, could Leno have done a bit better? Leno made 2 saves in that game and collected it, so I'm not going to get him, but you get it. The problem is one man might make, like all the goals we've more or less conceded this season, someone might make one mistake and then it becomes a spiral effect. Do you get it? Where it becomes a bad sequence where other people are involved. Like if you watch the goals we conceded against Wolves, the goals we conceded against both games against Aston Villa, Leicester, you know, a couple of the goals we conceded against West Ham, you know, it's 9 times out of 10 a poor run of decisions. Even like today, it's a very good goal from Pereira, but is it a good goal? Is it just a team being poor on the counter attack? You lot tell me, because I don't know, man. It is what it is. Please make sure you're doing up the like button, man. Please make sure you're doing up the like button. What positions do you believe needs to be improved the most? The spine, because where is the spine? You signed Partey, but who plays if Partey is injured? So you've got no depth. Back to square one. The minute I said that from day one, signing Partey is cool. I didn't want to scream like a spoiled kid, but it's we all know football is a depth purpose thing. Maybe it changes a bit next season. Cause we'll play, you know, if we're not in Europe, there's not 6 games minimum, but you need that. Obviously, if you sign Partey, we need a creative man. If you go back last season, you know, there were some fans that most fans recognized that you needed a guy on the Partey thing, and you needed a bit of a dictator, creator, all of that sort of thing next to him. Certain fans would say, "Nah, I just want Partey, or I just want Aouar, or I just want that creative 8, whatever, or I just want the 6." We needed both. A serious club signs both early doors for Arteta to work with. You know, Arteta, was you pleading for a midfielder? You was a midfielder. You can see how midfield is key to this team for defense and offense. We didn't bring one in. Lo and behold, is it poor recruitment? It's a domino effect. The owner don't care. So then Edu's having to wait. So then Partey's coming in slow. So that Arteta, on top of all his mistakes, don't know how to deal with the player. Then man is struggling. And then it's like what you see where players go through that stage where Gabriel or Partey are shining by themselves and then they're part of the mad thing. So again, you know, we need a lot. There's a lot of things that need to be improved, my guy. There's a lot of positions that need to be improved. And I would say the spine, you need a right back. Shout out to Chambers. Like, take nothing away from Chambers. I like him, but he's a squad player. And I ask people this. As much as I like Chambers, would you lot bet on him for 38 games? If you won't bet on him for 38 games at right back, then man have to be easy. You know, it's as simple as that. Like, he's a squad player at best. And again, we've been down here with Maitland-Niles, with Bellerin, with Cedric, with Chambers. I want Chambers in the squad, but I personally think we need to bring in a right back. That's just me. So right back, I think we need a centre half. I would like a midfielder or 2. That's the minimum for me personally, people. That's the minimum, personally. We need to fix the midfield ASAP, though. That's what I think we can all agree on. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. You know, we just need competent, confident, and competent footballers, man. I like Basuma, but whether we're gonna get him, I don't know, man. And that's just, you see what I just said? That's just the starting lineup, man. Then, you know, the depth is another thing. The only place I feel it's a bit cool is up front. And I know that you can have question marks, and I do as well, over Laka, Oba, this and that. But I just feel out of all them positions at Arsenal, I think, you know, if you can't get the best out of some of them strikers, because they're not bad players, there's an issue. If you bring in a midfield, then you're going to see Pepe flourish, Aubameyang flourish. As much as Martinelli was shaky today, you know, is it lo and behold, the midfield of Ceballos and El Nene, you struggle to pass on the best of days, you know. Certain men are not in the game. And on top of that, we've got a manager who don't play to certain man's strengths. Like if you play Lacazette, you know he's there for the 1-2s, hold up play. You need runners. Aubameyang's football is is relying on pace. And it's like, when you got players like that, you can't do the half in, half out. You either double down on how they play, and then if it's not a game for that, we have to move him on or take him off the pitch. I don't know, people, but it's like that's just what I believe, man. You know, we don't, on top of signing players, I mean, the manager needs the competence to know what he's doing with certain players and when they're needed, man. We need a backup left back as well, of course, man. And this is it. We've got no midfield, man. Yeah, but Chelsea's thing is different to ours, man. Some of these men are not levels. You look at that Chelsea side, whatever you say about Jorginho, said about Jorginho, Kante, Rudiger, Aspilicueta, a lot of them can play for handsome clubs and things like that. You look at Arsenal, and I'm saying those names specifically because they were players that looked to their days were numbered. You know, Rudiger allegedly was close to going Spurs. You know, that's completely different. I don't think we're going to get a tune out of these players, really and truly. And these players are false images. They did it under Wenger from time to time. They did it under Emery, did it under Arteta, where they play well, they make man think, yo, this and that. I think the problem with these players is psychologically. This is why. You know, the confidence is too volatile. You know, obviously your confidence should be shot against Villarreal, but also your confidence shouldn't be sky high beating West Brom. It's like we're too volatile. You need to keep a cool head. You're never as bad as you think when you're losing. You're not quite as good as you think when you're winning. Keep that balance. When you're balanced, you don't get complacent. When you don't have complacency, you have drive. When you have drive, you have a hunger. So when you're in those moments, putting in the hard grafts in training where we don't see, you get through. Because like I said, we don't see what goes in training, but you might be trying hard. But when I see some of the performances week in, week out, that's behind closed doors. You man are not trying. Other teams are, because I'm seeing what they're on. That's just how I feel personally. But boy, make of that what you will, innit, people. Love for that. You lot are getting the creative juices flowing today, man. Big up the 207 of you locked in. Please make sure that's reflected in the like button, though, people. Make sure you're checking out the pinned message, because we go again tomorrow, man. There's hella content. Samore to Leicester confirmed by Fofana himself. Shout out to Samore, man. You know, let me see if Fofana, what did he tweet it? Raw, boy. Wesley Fofana doing bare chattings. Man said, you're an expert if you say so, I believe. Of course, he 100% knows, man. Must be nice having a proactive football club, man. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Boy, anyways, shout out to that. That's nothing to do with us, though, man. You know, it's good for them, bringing a player for us. Is Basuma and Partey a good pivot? Don't you feel like we need a better orchestrator like Rodri or Jorginho type next to Partey? It all depends on what the game needs. This is why I said you need different options. Sometimes look at Chelsea. Sometimes Kante's not in there at all. Sometimes they double down on Jorginho. Again, we need to have the option. Do you go with Partey and a 6? Do you go with 2 8s? Do you go with 2 8s and a 10? Do you go with a flat midfield 3? Again, things shouldn't change too much, but over a 38 game calendar, you need different options, man. They're all as important. You need different options. If we're playing a game where we're going to concede possession, then you go with the 2 6s. And there's a lot, man. There's a lot to go into it, man. Shout out to them. Shout out to what Leicester are doing, but it's irrelevant, man. It is what it is in that regards, man. 1 goal, 5 assists. To be fair, he's got 7 allegedly, courtesy of transfer marking. You know, he's got 2 in Europe. Fair play to him. Appreciate that, people. Check out the pinned message. Check out the message I just put in the live stream and also the description. Realistically, if you had to predict, what do you think will happen to Arsenal next season? Irvin, not a clue, bro. We're in May. I don't know. I really wish I had a clue, but I don't know. Thoughts on Reece Nelson starting versus Chelsea? Would like to see him in the squad. Realistically, he's probably not going to start. He's played barely any football. One has to wonder where his match fitness is. Obviously, the 23 season is done. So, yeah, he needs to get on the phone to his agent and make something happen because he can't afford another season like this. It'd be a waste. You know, he deserves to be playing football somewhere, doing something. 187 likes, 218 people locked in. Please make sure you're hitting that like button. Let's get that one over the line, man. No heads up anymore, DG. Thought I'd try something different, man. Appreciate that, DD. Bruno, I appreciate that. I hope Chelsea do get touched, man. SA said it's like mini commercials, TV programming vibes. Hopefully more sponsors mess with the guy and we can do that, man. Everything gets reinvested into this thing. Would you make Odegaard permanent? Yes, but no. I'd say yes because I can't see us doing better. If we can get a cheap price, why not? And I do rate him. And I would like to even try get him on loan. I'd say no because who am I to say no to Odegaard when you've got our players? But I wouldn't. It's not that I'm not convinced. It's like I thought he was a bit iffy when we signed him, and then he, you know, like I always used to say, I said at the start, the best compliment I give him is that he looks like an Arsenal player. The worst is that he looks like an Arsenal player. I think he played within himself for a lot. There was a period, whether it was Leicester to a degree, West Ham, Benfica in the cup. Them sort of times there, he was really playing out of his skin. Spurs, playing out of his skin. And I want to give him a bit of a blight because he's picked up that little injury and it's been revealed he's been playing with it. But then without excluding that, my dude, Jaden, I think he's kind of reverted back to what I was saying at the start. So he's had the iffy start, the balling thing in the middle, and then that. So then it makes me think, is that a purple patch from you? Or is it, you know, that's what you can do when the conditions are right? I don't know. So I would like to make him permanent, but it all depends, man. I think we might as well try for another year on loan. Maybe the next year with a year left on his deal, it might, you know, it might tempt them to do something, man. A man said you need to get in touch with energy drinks. That's where the bag be, my guy, bro. They need to get there. I've already made a video on this, Dan, or touched on it in the live stream. What do I think of the Ohana links? Not really convinced on Donny, but if it happens, it happens, isn't it? We could do a lot worse, but I just, not that we can do a lot, but I'd rather just bring in, he's not my sort of keeper. He's a good shot stopper. He's okay with his feet, but I'd rather just bring someone else in, man. Personally, but it is what it is. That's what I believe on that. Buendia, Basuma, Eduard, Aarons, Paul Torres. I think we're dream chasing with all of those, but I think if we could get Buendia, Basuma, Aarons, and Paul Torres out of them, I'd pass on Eduard right now. It'd be cool. I think Eduard's a baller, though. I'd take him, but it is where it is, man. You know, 4 of those names are more needed than the striker. I think Arteta would like a striker personally, but, you know, you don't start buying flat screen TVs if you ain't got working water. It's not going to make sense, you know. You're going to be in your house like, yeah, I can watch TV, but I'm here with my musty boxes. You know, I can't clean my skin. And we need to look, for me, Buendia, Basuma, Max Aarons, Paul Torres, if not the names, the positions, I think these are fundamentals. Strikers, for me, are meant to be the creme de la creme. You know, defense wins your title, strikers win your games, you know. And our midfield, what is our midfield about? Don't score enough goals. The one midfielder that scores enough goals, he's on loan. You know, we don't score enough goals. We're not mad defensive. We can't dictate the tempo of a game. So how can we get the best out of our strikers? As much as our defense is poor because of themselves, it's dead in midfield. You know, like you saw, no one brought him down, the man down, man. You know, it's crazy, man. Would you sell Lacazette? I'm on the fence with that. I would say yes, and I would say no, because again, I need to know the definitive plan with what we're doing. If we're doubling down and saying, yo, Martinelli's getting his game time through there and doing things like that, then I don't mind. But again, I need to see us doing something properly. And obviously, you got Balogun in the wings. Big up all the Brazilian ones as well. Andre Luiz, I appreciate you. Fly your flags, people, man. Fly your flags. Greetings from Vienna. Hi, bro. The boys played well tonight. We're going to bounce back next season. I hope so. Oh, please, man. You know, I think we all want to see that. We all want to see that. Man in midfield most definitely should be a priority. A blind man could see such. Jaden, I appreciate that $5. Congrats on the 30K, by the way, DG. Only upwards, bro. Hopefully, man, you know, I want 50 by the end of the year. I'm trying. I think it's impossible, but I'm going to give it everything I got, man. If that makes sense, man. So, yeah, shout out to you lot, man. Get the like button up, going up, people. We'll get into the player ratings in a second, people. I just want to see something. Joe, wake up earlier. That's all I'll say to you, brother. I didn't say we must sell Lacazette, but he's got 2 years left. Decision has to be made, man. If we didn't score 2 worldies, that game would have been the same old. Arteta got away with it today to a degree. That's what I said at the start, my guy. Slow start, not breaking down teams, individual bits of moments of brilliance. These are the things you're going to see, man. This was it. He's shown us he's not experienced enough for this Arsenal job. It's not even experiencing. You just show me you're not learning from your mistakes to get behind you beyond just giving you respect as a manager. You're not learning from your mistakes, and that's the problem. You know, you need to learn from your mistakes. You're doing things, and then you're doing them again and wondering why it's shaky, man. You know, but let's get into the player ratings quickly, people. Arsenal player ratings. It's player ratings business. Let me scroll all the way down. Timestamp is done. Let me share the screen with you guys, people. Let's start these names. So Lelo, you know what? I'll give him a 7. You know, I gave him a 6 in the game against Villarreal, but I give him a 7. I can't blame him for the goal. Maybe could have done a bit better if I look at that goal again that we conceded. But really, Pereira started it from his own half. I can't blame my keeper. He should have been stopped way before that. If you get what I'm referring to. You know, before I carry on, I appreciate that, my guy. Love for the super chat. Deluded, if you could bring in 3 players this summer, who would they be, bro? Good luck with 50k. If money weren't an option, Awa, Basuma, Paul Torres, like someone said, man. They're selling me on that, man. Yeah, well, Well, he started the season with 2 years left. Come the end of the year, he's going to have a year left. We need to make a decision. You know, on the last 2 years of players in their contracts, decisions have to be made. We're delaying. But back to the player ratings. I give Leno a 7. I'm always shaky about him collecting it in the air. Was convincing in that regards. I have question marks over his distribution. I feel his distribution was spot on. Like I said, maybe if we were viewing it, if we review the whole goal again, he could have done a bit better because I did think he was beaten at that post a bit too easily. But again, once again, Pereira has started that from a corner. Well, Townsend is clear that dealt with it, and it's against the run of play. Where's the midfield? Where's the defense? It shouldn't have got to that. So beyond that, I think Leno did all right today, man. I'm going to give him a 7. Chambers, give you a 6. I think he did all right today. Holding, I'll give you a 6. You know, it should be a 5, but I'll give you credit. I think Gabriel was good today. Very good with his ball playing, with his clearances. Gabriel gets a 7 for me. Bukayo Saka was very good for me. He gets an 8. Best game from Saka in a while. He has looked a bit burnt out, and he had a good performance. Saka gets an 8. I think he played very well for me. So that's the back 4. In terms of the midfield, El Nene, I think he put in work, you know. I don't give half, so it's not a 6.5. It's either a 7 or a 6. I actually think you did all right, so I'll give you a 6. Ceballos, you know, I know he's not flavor of the month, but I think he, you know, apart from the goal, I give him a 6. I think he was quite proactive. He was involved in the build-up play for the goal. I think he was all right, personally. So there's that. Smith Rowe, I think Smith Rowe was near enough excellent in the minutes he played. We lost a lot when he came off. For me, also an 8. Who else is there? Pepe was good as well. Also, I'll give you an 8 for that goal. You deserve an 8. Saka, for me, Saka, Smith Rowe, Pepe, and obviously Willian forced his way into it. I think they were the best performers. Willian, I can't lie, man. I'll give Willian a 9. I'll give Willian a 9. Still, maybe even a 10. You know, I'll put in brackets 10 if you don't think he deserves that car. Very good goal. You know, it's only taking him until May to score, but that was a fantastic goal. He did get an assist. You know what? Did the end product let him down? I'll probably just give you know what? I'm always on to Willian, you know, so I'm a fair man. I'll give Willian a 10. Because now that I deep it, what more could I ask from you? Maybe when I watch the game again, I could say I might change it, but what more could I ask from you first time round? You was involved in the goal. I actually feel Willian was decent today, you know. I'm not convinced on him. Think he needs to be moved on and all those sort of things. But I think Willian deserves a 10. He's probably my man of the match, you know. That's just my trying to be fair hat, you know. If I had to be like for me, it's Smith Rowe. Willian deserves it, but yeah, I think he was good. Martinelli, 7. 7 for me. 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 You know, I'll give you a 6. You worked hard. I think you just from pressing Sam Johnson, you fashioned a chance from Pepe. Just from making a run off the ball, you fashioned a chance for Pepe. I think the movement was there. Didn't you a bit anonymous? Yeah, you weren't giving service and things like that. But you know, on another day, you need to as a footballer, you can't just sit there and say they're not giving me service. This guy's stronger than me, faster than me. You got to learn to change it up. It was nice for me, for Martinelli, to get 60 minutes and be out of his comfort zone. And admittedly, I would have played him on the left in this game. But it was nice for him to be out of his comfort zone. If he's going to be a striker, he's going to have to do that. You know, you're not always going to play in games where it's tailored for Arsenal players or things like that. That, you know, he had a good experience being out of his comfort zone against Kyle Bartley and Semi Ajayi, both former Arsenal players. So I think Leno maybe I'll revise Leno down to a 7. But again, Leno and Willian, I'm very harsh on them. So I always believe in giving credit where due. But 7 for Leno, 6 for Chambers, 6 for Holding, 7 for Gabriel, 8 apologies for Saka. I'll give a 6 to El Nene, also Ceballos, another one I'm harsh on. Smith Rowe 8, Pepe 8. You know, maybe, you know what? Might even be being a bit harsh with you lot still. You know. Nah, I'll leave you at 8. You know. I think even Saka gets a 9 because from minute 1 you was on this thing. So was Smith Rowe. Obviously you scored, but he's a bit hot and cold. So Leno 7, Chambers 6, 6 for Holding, 7 for Gabriel, 9 for Saka. Best performance in a while from Saka for me. El Nene is 6, like Ceballos. Smith Rowe a 9 on being revised. Pepe an 8. Willian a 10. Man of the match really. For me, Martinelli a 6. In terms of the subs, you know, Lacazette came on at the hour mark. 5 for me. I think he worked well. He clearly looked off the pace. Who else came off that bench, people? Partey, NA. I'm defo missing someone else out. Let me find them. Tierney, apologies. How can I miss out Tierney? Actually, I feel Tierney was good off the bench, really, in his little minutes. I'll give you a 7 for when you was on the field. I feel Tierney was quite good, man, offering that little outlet and things. And I think he should have had an assist. And that's what I was saying earlier. Nobody gambles at this club. Like, we'll score a couple more goals individually and collectively if people just gambled. For Mikel Arteta, you know, give you a humble 7. The game plan worked today. It is what it is, you know. In fact, who wouldn't I have went with? You know, I wanted you to play Saka left back if need be against Villarreal. Played him here, played all right. Centre half, can't ask any questions. El Nene and Sebas did all right. Maybe the goal could have been a bit better. Front 3 did all right. Willian scored. I'll give you a 7, really. Short little bounce. I don't even want to say bounce back, but that's my player ratings, people. The glorious thing is, undoubtedly, somebody said, "Well, why'd you give him that?" You can't do that. That's the glorious thing about football. You know, we can disagree. You can agree to disagree. I can look at some of you lots of opinions and things like that, but yeah, I don't try to force my opinions down you guys, so please don't do the same. Football's a diverse game, and I stand with my chest. So that's that in that regards, man. This is the same performance we had against Villarreal. Only difference, we played West Brom today. The players are using their pay packets to wipe their fake tears. It's not worth crying over them anymore. Martinelli was a 5. Fair play. You know, I'll give it. Do you know what? He worked hard, didn't it? You know, I see stuff off the ball, and I have luxuries afforded when I can see someone making several things, but it was probably a 5, but that's what it is, man. Nicholas, I'm safe, my guy. I'm doing well. Arsenal won, so I'm doing all right, man. Let's not cap. Ceballos doesn't deserve a 3. Don't be silly. Like, don't be silly. You're allowed your opinion, but Ceballos was never a 3. Let's be serious. 5 is cool, you know. 5 is cool. To be fair, Gabriel, you know, it was at 6s and 7s, but I just, listen, I'm always going to be a bit biased to Gabriel, and I just feel he was trying to ball play. I just think there's an improvement in performance. I just think him and Saka, I saw a lot down the left-hand side with him, and I just feel Gabriel takes responsibility. Martinelli does need to play well. Arsenal firmly do have mentality problems, man. You know, Saka was good. You know, what more could Willian do, really? You can't agenda Willian today. There's not a damn thing more that man could do for me today. That's a bit deep. You know, no, it's not even that Chambers ain't. No, I never said that. But I just can't rely on man for 38 games. You know, it's a 38 game thing. I don't know, man. Jacko was the guy who was meant to be backup when we signed him, is now a first team regular. We rely on. I'm not too sure if that's true, but fair play. Beanie, thank you for tuning in. You know, big up yourself from JA. I love when I see the Jamaicans turn up. You know, I got time for you lot, especially. Happy for Willian. I think we're happy for ourselves because, you know, he was bordering on touching the season without scoring, and that's a new low even by Williams. Like, again, it's like I didn't have any expectations on Willian. I thought the worst comes to worst, he's just going to be a frustrating player, kind of like how Pepe kind of is or was. But again, it's done. It's done. Boy, we signed strikers. We don't know how we're going to service them. We signed wingers and we ain't got attacking right backs. We're the kings of signing stuff, signing electrical appliances, but not buying batteries or the charger. It's not making sense, man. We are the kings of playing when the pressure is off, but nice to see a win regardless. Facts, and more facts. We signed Xhaka over Kante. We definitely weren't signing him to be the player he is. Saka plays best at left wing back. I'm not too sure. You know, he plays equally as good on the right-hand side, but fair play. Leno 7, Chambers 6, Holding 6, Gabriel 6, Saka 8, El Nene and Sabasa 5, Smith Rowe 7, Willian 7, Pepe 8, Martinelli 5, Tierney 7, Lacazette NA, Partey NA, Arteta 7, Clement, very fair ratings. Can't disagree with that. You see? You know? Slightly different ratings for me, but we can live, can't we? Big up LFC Farhan. I always see you on Twitter and stuff saluting the thing. You said Saka 8. He was so good today as a left back. Facts, and more facts. Still think Arteta is not learning from his mistakes despite the win. Old habits die hard. And yeah, man said Sabas, I plead the fifth. You know what? Saka at left wing back. Bro, if we're playing the back three, then he's basically going to be a winger anyways. I don't mind that. You know, I'm on that. Bruno, big up, bro. This win doesn't mean anything. Wednesday will determine everything. I hear you, but I ain't really going to... I agree with you, but I ain't going to determine nothing. If we win, it's a pleasant surprise. If we lose, you know, I've seen you do mad stuff, so I can't... You know, what I will say is, if they try and feel sorry for themselves, if they try and... you know, not take it seriously, then the form Chelsea's in, it'll be back to the old days where they used to drum you lot in 3-4-0 and bear embarrassment and things like that. That's what will happen to these players. I think Cedric's just, you know, either Cedric's played a game and Arteta's lost faith in him, or Arteta isn't happy in training, or he's carrying an injury we don't know. It's got to be one of the three. I think he's just lost faith in him, really. You know, because you don't go from saying he's the best attacking guy and all these things to not using him. So something must have changed, man. That's why we need a right back. Because for me, Cedric has good and bad moments. Chambers will, Bellerin will, Maitland-Niles will. You know, maybe if Maitland wanted to lock it down, it'd be a bit different. But for me, let's just sign someone who's a right back, because there's too much conversation about right back. It's not an area we should be chatting about, man. It's crazy. Nonetheless, we're at 219 likes, people. There's 300 of you locked in. That means a couple of you haven't hit that like button. Keep doing that up, man. Bro, if we're not trying to, might as well just let Willian leave on a free transfer. I use my laptop's webcam. I think both of them probably need to be sold. I'd keep Guendouzi. I wouldn't mind Maitland-Niles for the squad. If I had to pick the two, I'd say Matteo, but they'll probably both be sold and moved on, man. I'd say all options are open for me with Joe Willock. I'm open to bringing him back. I'm open to letting him go out on loan. I'm open to selling him. That would be me personally. I'm open to anything. Because, again, I wouldn't necessarily want to sell him. But if we're going to sell him for a decent fee and that's going to be reinvested on a proper midfielder, right back, whatever area, then I think these are necessary evils we might need to make, man. The whole team will excel. The whole team will excel. Is that Milios? That's the Donny at Florentina. I like him, but I just need to... He needs to do, not that he has to prove me anything. I need to see a bit more before I'm really like, yeah, to get. It's crazy, man. Absolutely, man. Man said I want Guendouzi back, but only for the band. So you're not tired of the bands this football club is running. You're not tired of that, my guy. 315 of you locked in. I appreciate that, man. I don't want no one back for the bants. Probably, to be fair, he's become a father now. You know, you all saw his Instagram post. Maybe life has changed. Mate, Arteta said the slate is wiped clean. Is what it is. Do you think Arteta got the best out of Willian? No. Did Willian get the best out of himself? Like, it's no. You know, fantastic goal, but man are doing it in May. Like, dead. Really, he didn't get the best out of himself. You know, maybe I don't even. Williams just played poor because Williams poor, but at the same time, you know, you didn't really save Williams. Sometimes when you can see he's a confidence player, he's spoken about it, but sometimes you could see he needed saving from himself. Nonetheless, he still played. It's unfortunate for Guendouzi. You're right, he broke his metatarsals, we spoke about on a couple of live streams before. Season done, father now, got a lot to think about as an individual, you know. Probably the most important decision from a footballing point of view he's had to make in his young life. Make sure you're hitting the like button, people. I'm all for Gabriel and Saliba as the combination, but there's going to be games that young centre-half partnership show their age and need saving from themselves, which is why I think we need an experienced individual in that role to hold their hands of sorts, people. That's just me personally. Like, if you could find a David Luiz who, without the mistakes, he's a couple years younger, be cool, wouldn't it? Be absolutely cool in that regards, man. Let me drop some links for my next live watch-alongs. Do you think Tuchel gets you top 4 with that squad? Probably not, but I do think he definitely gets us higher in the table. I definitely feel we'd see a DNA. I definitely think he would understand the players. I definitely feel we would see more clarity over tactics and what we're doing. All things I think Arteta, whether he's brought players in or not, can do. That's just me personally. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. Some man will make excuses for such. Make sure you're checking out the links I'm dropping in, people. These are not there for free. You know, we're going live 3 times tomorrow, 11:30, 2 p.m. with Matisse. And then I think I'm doing my own Chelsea versus Arsenal watch-along by myself. Would you rather not be in Europe or in the Conference League? If it's from a money point of view, then the Conference League. I don't want to play in the Conference League from a pride point of view. Not that I can have pride, but I think we need to move him on. I wouldn't want to be out of there, and anyone that gets in there, we need to move them on. I think we just need to stay out of Europe now, man. I don't know, okay? I don't know how far he's gone with his bid to buy Arsenal. You need to phone him and ask him. I don't have a clue, bro. If I did, be telling him to buy that today, rude boy. It is what it is in that regards, man. It firmly is. I can't lie, though, folks. I think that's the end of this, man. What have you said? Big up the talk in the last vid, bro. You should do more speeches and them things there. I do deluded thoughts quite frequently, my guy. So take that one in. I can't lie, though, folks. It's time to shower and eat. I'm getting out of here, people. I'll be back again at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow UK time, at 2 p.m. UK time, and I think 4 or 5 UK time. So just be alert, people. But I've put in a shift today. I'm going to keep it moving. On that note, please stay safe. I'm out, man. Last question. Pablo Fonseca, I like him, but he'd be on my list. He wouldn't be necessarily up there. So, yeah, man, it is what it is in that regards. I hope you all stay well and safe. I'll catch you lot later, man. It's all 10:30. It's time to eat. I'm out.